My child, before you do anything else, know this. I am giving you a special insight, a truth about your path that will shock you and change everything. Don't skip this. Your very future depends on hearing me right now. My child, can you give me 1 minute? Just a little time, and I promise you won't regret it. Stop right here. Don't rush. Don't scroll. Don't slip away from this moment the way you have so many times before. I am stepping into your day, into your thoughts, into your atmosphere because I need you to hear me. I need your heart to pause. I need your spirit to breathe. And if you move too quickly, if you get distracted again, if you push this off that way you have pushed off so many moments, you may miss what I placed in front of. I need your attention not because I demand it, but because something you have been praying for is closer than you realize. You. So I ask you again, gently but urgently, can you give me 1 minute, just a little time, not all of your day, not your whole strength, just this moment, just this breath, just this small space where the world loosens its grip on you long enough for you to feel me again. I know how often you've rushed past these moments. I know how many times you felt me tug at your heart and you said later. Maybe later. I know how many times you've sensed something important and you brushed it aside because life felt too loud, too overwhelming, too heavy to stop and listen. I know how many times you convinced yourself you'd come back and you never did. But this moment is different. You feel it, don't you? Something in you is softer to right now, quieter, more open than usual. Something in you senses the weight of these words. Something in you recognizes that I am not far away. I am right here, drawing near, reaching for you in a way you cannot explain but cannot deny. This moment is not random. It is not accidental. I aligned it with your life, because your heart has been drifting farther than you know, and I had to step in before something precious slipped from your hands. Your life has been so noisy lately. So many thoughts, so many worries, so many emotions swirling inside you that you haven't even had the space to hear yourself breathe. The world has been pulling at you from every direction, and you've been running on empty without even realizing how much of yourself you've been losing in the process. You have been tired, not just body tired, but soul tired. You have been overwhelmed not just mentally but spiritually. You have been carrying things you were never meant to carry alone. You have been fighting battles in silence. Pretending you're okay, pretending you're strong, pretending the weight doesn't hurt you as deeply as it does. And because life has been so loud, you've missed my gentle voice. You've missed my signs. You've missed the soft nudges I placed along your path. Not because you didn't care, but because you were burdened. Not because you were ignoring me, but because your heart was tired. Not because you didn't love me, but because you've been surviving more than you've been living. And I saw it. I saw the tiredness in your eyes. I saw the heaviness in your steps. I saw the emotions you tried to hide from yourself. I saw the parts of you that you kept pushing down so no one would worry. That's why I'm here now. That's why my voice feels closer than usual. That's why your heart is reacting even if you don't understand why yet. Because you've been praying for deep things, heavy things, secret things. Prayers you whispered through tears. Prayers you buried under your breath so no one else would hear. Prayers you didn't think were strong enough, or good enough, or worthy enough to reach heaven. But they did. Every single one of them reached me. I carry those prayers. I listened to them when you felt like no one else cared. I held them in my hands and lined up answers in ways you still cannot imagine. And now one of those answers, one of those breakthroughs, one of those moments you prayed for is finally approaching your life. But you must be awake for it. You must be present for it. You must be aligned enough to receive it. If you rush past this moment, if you skim through these words, if you distract yourself the way you always do when something begins to feel too deep or too real, you may miss the very thing you've. That's why I need your attention, not to control you, but to protect what I am sending to you. Been begging me to send. So let me hold you still for a moment. Let me hush the world around you. Let me quiet the noise inside you just for now, just for this minute. Just for this breath where your soul softens enough to let me speak to you. I know how many times you've pushed away moments like this because you were afraid to feel too much. I know how many times you didn't want to confront your own hurt. I know how many times you pulled away because you didn't trust that good things could actually come to you. I know how many times you ran because running felt safer than hoping. I know how many times you skipped over my whisper because your heart didn't believe anything could change anymore. If this message is touching your heart, I invite you to like this video right now. Liking this video will activate the flow of God's favor in your life. It is a simple act of faith that opens the door for heaven to move on your behalf. The comment, "God is my safe refuge," if you run to Him when life is heavy. But my child, I never stopped coming for you. I never stopped drawing near. I never stopped reaching out. I never stopped loving you past your walls, past your fears, past your silence. You have been searching for peace, but walking with too much noise to notice when it comes. You have been searching for direction, but drowning in distractions that keep you confused. You have been searching for comfort, but surrounding yourself with things that numb you instead of heal you. You have been searching for me but forgetting how to slow down long enough to hear me. So I came into your moment. I stepped into your day. I reached into your atmosphere and I whispered, "Can you give me 1 minute?" Just a little time, and I promise you won't regret it because this message holds something for you. Something tender, something healing, something you have needed for so long that your heart forgot how to ask for it properly. What you are reading right now is not just text on a screen. It is the moment I positioned in your life because your spirit is finally ready. Ready to hear me, ready to release something, ready to receive what I've been. It is the exact moment heaven arranged. Preparing behind the scenes. You may not understand everything yet. You may not feel ready. You may not know what is coming, but trust me, this moment matters. All I ask is this: give me your attention, give me your heart, give me your breath. Just for this moment, just long enough for me to place something inside you that will shift your life. My child, let me tell you why I had to step into your moment like this. Why I reached into your day with the sudden pull that you could feel in your chest. Why these words found you at the exact second when your mind was wandering and your heart was tired. You have been overwhelmed for a long time, carrying weight that has been pressing against your spirit in ways you haven't fully admitted to yourself. You have been moving through your days with a heaviness sitting quietly on your shoulders. A heaviness you push down so you can function. A heaviness you hide behind laughter. Behind routines, behind distractions, behind strength that drains you the moment you are alone. You've been spiritually silent, not because you don't believe in me, not because you don't want me, but because your spirit has been drowning in the noise. of everything you've had to handle on your. You have been mentally exhausted, trying to keep everything together while parts of your heart feel like they're slipping through your fingers. Own. You have been drifting, my child, and you didn't even realize it. Drifting doesn't happen with loud warnings. It happens quietly, slowly, gently, one small compromise at a time, one skipped moment at a time, one ignored tug at a time. It happens when life gets too loud, when your emotions get too heavy, when your thoughts get too crowded. You drifted not because you were running from me, but because you were surviving more than you were living. You drifted because you were tired. You drifted because your heart had been bruised from too many hits. You drifted because you've been waiting for someone to finally see how much you've been carrying. And you grew used to the silence around you, but I saw it. I saw your spirit getting quieter. I saw your hope growing thin. I saw you slowly losing connection to the parts of you that once felt alive. I saw you slipping into numbness. And I could not allow you to disappear inside that numbness without reaching for you. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. Faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give and it will be given to you is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. You have been carrying burdens alone that were never meant to be carried without my help. You tried to hold everything together because you didn't want to bother anyone. You told yourself you were strong enough even when you felt like collapsing inside. You pushed through pain by ignoring it. You moved through grief by burying it. You walked through loneliness by pretending you didn't feel it. You didn't want to fall apart, so you didn't allow yourself to feel anything too deeply. You didn't want to break, so you tightened your heart until even joy had trouble getting in. You carried emotional wounds without treating them. You carried exhaustion without resting from it. You carried heartbreak without healing from it. You carried responsibilities that weighed down your soul until you forgot what it felt like to breathe without pressure. To survive, you numbed yourself. You silenced your own needs so you wouldn't feel like you were falling behind. You distracted yourself so you wouldn't have to deal with the ache in your chest. You stayed busy so you wouldn't have to think. You kept moving even when you were breaking. You told yourself you were fine even when the truth was that you were slipping deeper into a place where you couldn't feel me clearly. You weren't rejecting me, you were protecting yourself in the only way you knew how. You weren't running. I watched you quietly trying to keep your heart from shattering. I know why you shut down emotionally. I know why you closed parts of your heart. I know why you stopped expecting much. I know why you kept telling yourself not to feel, not to hope, not to trust, not to get hurt again. You thought numbness would save you from pain. But numbness was stealing your ability to receive the blessing coming toward you. Now I want you to take a moment and share this prophetic word with someone you love. Sharing this message will activate the anointing in your life and share that breakthrough with your network. As you release it, heaven releases something for you. Please support our channel. Our mission is to bring joy, peace, and devotion to God into your life. If you wish, you can show your support and encouragement by donating through Super Thanks. And that, my child, is why I had to stop you. That is why my voice feels stronger than usual. That is why this moment feels heavy, intentional, unmistakable. You were slipping into a kind of silence that would have blinded you to the answer you've been praying for. You were sinking into a tiredness that could have caused you to overlook everything heaven has been preparing. You were drifting into a numbness that would make you unable to recognize the opportunities I've placed in your path. You were sinking into emotional survival mode at the exact moment when a breakthrough is approaching. And because I saw how close the blessing was, I could not allow you to drift away from it. I had to intervene. I had to reach into your day in a way that you would feel, in a way that would make you pause, in a way that would pull your heart back from the edges of exhaustion. You were so close to missing something that has your name on it. Something I prepared long before you knew you needed it. Something that will restore parts of you that you thought would never come back. I watched how your heart was getting too tired to receive what was coming. So I stepped in before your strength slipped any further. I stepped into your moment because you've been walking through life with a weight of 10 different battles pressing on you at the same time. I stepped in because you've been functioning on empty while telling yourself you're okay. I stepped in because I saw that you barely had room left to feel me. And I refused to lose you to numbness, fear, or emotional fatigue. My child, I need you to understand something clearly. Heaven aligned this exact minute for you, not an hour ago, not tomorrow, not later. This moment, this one right here, was chosen, marked, designed specifically for your heart. Every second of your life has been guiding you toward this message. Every tired night, every quiet tear, every unanswered prayer, every whisper you breathed into the darkness, every moment you felt alone, every you felt unseen, every moment you thought your life was stuck. All of it led you here right now to this breath, to this pause, to this encounter with me. This is not random. This is not coincidence. This is not an accident. I arranged this moment in the timeline of your life because your heart needed it. I aligned this minute because you have been drowning in responsibilities, in noise, in pain, in exhaustion, and you were seconds away from slipping further. I brought you here because your spirit was reaching for something even when your mind didn't know what it was reaching for. Into numbness. I align this minute because the blessing approaching your life requires you to wake up inside, to breathe again, to feel again, to reconnect with me again. I aligned this minute because I needed your heart in the right place to receive what heaven has prepared. My child, come closer in this moment because I am about to speak into the deepest parts of you. The parts you've learned to hide even from yourself. I want to talk to you about your pain, the pain you buried, the pain you minimized. I have watched you hold so many pieces of your heart together with shaking hands. Pretending that you were fine, pretending that you were strong, pretending that you didn't feel the weight pressing into your The pain you walked through quietly because you were afraid no one would care enough to help you carry it. Chest. But I saw it all. I saw the heartbreak that split you open in ways you still haven't recovered from. I saw the moments when someone you trusted broke you. When someone you loved walked away. When someone you opened your soul to mishandled it. I saw how deeply it wounded you. I saw how you tried to move on while still bleeding inside. I saw how you tried to keep smiling even though your heart was breaking behind your eyes. You tell yourself you're past it, but the truth is that you've been carrying the aftershocks of that heartbreak for longer than you admit. You carry the ache in quiet ways, avoiding certain memories, avoiding certain hopes, avoiding certain dreams because you're afraid of feeling that pain again. You built walls not because you don't want love, but because you're terrified of being shattered again. And oh my child, I saw every moment of that pain. I stood beside you when you fell apart. I held you when you thought no one noticed. I caught your tears before they touched the ground. I saw your exhaustion, the kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from lack of sleep, but from carrying too many battles alone. You've been tired of pretending, tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of feeling like you always have to be the strong one, the stable one, the one who keeps everything together while inside you are. You've been tired in your bones, tired in your thoughts, tired in your soul, crying for a place to rest. You've been exhausted because you've been pouring from an empty cup, because you've been giving while needing, because you've been holding while longing to be held, and I saw it all. I saw the tremble in your spirit. I saw the heaviness in your body. I saw the moments when you felt too weak to keep going, but kept going anyway. I saw your disappointment. Those moments when you hoped with your whole heart, only to feel the sting of another door closing. Those times when you allowed yourself to believe things would finally get better. But life seemed to twist in the opposite direction. I saw the disappointment in your eyes when people did not show up for you. When promises were broken, when expectations fell flat, when opportunities slipped through your hands. I saw the way those disappointments piled up inside you until you feared hoping for anything at all. But my child, I held every one of those disappointments with care. I never mocked your hope. I never dismissed your dreams. I never ignored your pain. I saw your loneliness. The kind that doesn't go away even when you're surrounded by people. The kind that sits inside your chest whispering that no one truly sees you, no one truly understands you, no one truly stays. I saw the nights when you were physically alone. And I saw the nights when you were emotionally alone, even with others around you. I saw how you longed for comfort, for gentleness, for presence, for someone who could look at you and say, I'm here. I saw how deeply you longed to be loved in. I saw how you longed for connection, for someone who would understand your heart without you having to explain it. Ways that didn't hurt. And even though you felt invisible, I was watching you with a love that never wavered. I saw your fear, the fear of the future, the fear of repeating the past, the fear of being too much, the fear of not being enough. I saw the fear that made you second-guess your decisions. I saw the fear that made you question your worth. I saw the fear that made you shrink yourself just to avoid being rejected. I saw the fear that made you settle for less than what your heart truly needed. I saw the fear that woke you in the middle of the night. The fear that made your mind spiral, the fear that made your heart race. I saw the fear that made you think you were alone in the world. But you were never alone. I was beside you every second. I saw your confusion. The moments when nothing made sense. When you didn't understand why things happened the way they did. When you couldn't see the purpose behind the loss, the delay, the shift, the silence. When you asked, why me? When you wondered if you had done something wrong. When you wondered if I had forgotten you. When you felt like you were walking through life blind, trying to make choices without clarity. Without direction, without confidence. I saw you trying to find answers while feeling like everything inside you was tangled. And even when you felt lost, I knew exactly where you were. I saw your emotional numbness. The moments when you didn't feel joy, didn't feel connection, didn't feel hope. The moments when you weren't sad or angry, just empty. The moments when you felt like you had nothing left to give, nothing left to feel, nothing left to try. The moments when you shut down because feeling too deeply hurt too much. You were not broken. My child, you were protecting yourself the only way you knew how. You weren't cold. You were wounded and tired of being wounded. I saw that numbness and I never judged you for it. I didn't pull away from you because you couldn't feel me. I stayed close enough to strengthen you even when you couldn't sense me at all. Type Amen. My soul worships you if your heart is lifted in praise. I saw every time you pretended to be okay, the forced smile, the laughter you used to hide tears, the jokes you used to mask pain. You've become so good at appearing strong that people rarely see when you're hurting. You've carried yourself with strength even when inside you were collapsing. You said, I'm fine more times than you can count, not because you were fine, but because you didn't want to burden anyone. You didn't want to look weak, you didn't want to be judged. And every time you hid your feelings, every time you shut down your voice, every time you swallowed your tears, I saw it all. I saw your silent crying, the tears you cried quietly at night, so no one would hear. The moments when you turned your face into your pillow to hide the sound. The nights when you cried until your body felt empty. The nights when you cried without even knowing why. The nights when pain rose out of nowhere. The nights when you carry the weight of everything alone. The nights when your chest hurt from holding everything in. I saw every tear. None of them were wasted, none ignored, none unseen. I saw your feelings of being forgotten. The ache in your chest when others didn't show up for you. When they didn't check on you, when they didn't notice how much you were struggling. I saw the times when you looked around and felt like you had no one. When you wondered if anyone truly cared. When you wondered if anyone would notice if you disappeared. When you wondered why everyone else seemed supported while you carried so much alone. My child, you felt forgotten, my people, but you were never forgotten by me. Not one tear, not one heartbreak, not one silent night, not one moment of confusion. Not one feeling of loneliness, not one cry for help, not one prayer breathed in fear. Nothing you suffered went unnoticed in heaven. Not one breath you fought to take. I saw you all, I held it all, I covered you in ways you didn't see. I protected your mind when it was too fragile. I guarded your heart when life hit too hard. I walked beside you in every moment. Even when you couldn't feel me, even when you thought I was far, even when you thought I was silent, I was closer to you in your pain than I ever was in your victories. Now, I invite you to join me in this moment of truth. Type Amen in the comments below as your declaration that you believe I have never left you. Let your voice rise with mine. And now let me tell you with the tenderness your soul needs, I never left you. Not for a second, not for a heartbeat, not for a sigh, not for a moment when you were shaking under the weight of your own emotions. I was there in the heartbreak, standing beside you when your heart cracked. I was there in the exhaustion, giving you strength when you didn't know where it came from. I was there in the disappointment, catching the pieces of your hope. I was there in the loneliness, whispering love into your empty spaces. I was there in the fear, holding your trembling heart. I was there in the confusion, Clear's throat guiding you slowly, even when you didn't notice my direction. I was there in the numbness, keeping your spirit alive when everything felt empty. I was there in every silent cry, holding you as you broke. I was there in every moment you thought you were forgotten. I want to uncover your silent cries, the longings buried beneath everything you tried to appear, the fears you never dared to speak aloud, the dreams you packed away because they felt too fragile to survive. My beloved child, let me speak now into the places inside you that you have never allowed anyone to see. Another disappointment. I want to talk to you about the parts of you that only I have seen. The parts you have kept hidden from the world. The parts you protect even from yourself. Because these quiet inner places matter to me. Every unspoken word, every swallowed emotion, every longing you thought was too small or too impossible. I have heard them all, and none of them slipped past my heart. I heard the things you never voiced. I heard the thoughts you were too embarrassed to admit. I heard the fears you carried in silence because you didn't want to worry others or seem weak. I heard the trembling questions that lived deep inside you. What if I'm not enough? What if I fail again? What if I get hurt again? What if nothing gets better? What if no one stays? What if everything I hope for slips away from me? You never said these words aloud, but you whispered them inside your own mind while trying to keep yourself together. You tried to be strong, tried to be brave, tried to be calm. But inside there were storms you didn't know how to calm by yourself. And every one of those silent fears reached me. Not one of them was ignored. I heard the dreams you buried, not because you stopped wanting them, but because you were tired of fighting for things that kept slipping away. You buried dreams of real joy because joy felt too unpredictable. You buried dreams of love because your heart had been broken too many times. You buried dreams of a better future because disappointment had worn you out. You buried dreams of healing because you didn't believe you could survive another setback. You buried dreams of purpose because you felt lost. You buried dreams of peace because chaos felt louder than hope. You buried dreams that were once bright and alive. And you told yourself it was easier not to want them anymore. But I saw you bury them with trembling hands. I watched you hide them because the age of wanting them felt too heavy, and I kept those dreams safe for you. They did not die. They only waited for the moment your heart could handle hope again. I heard the prayers you whispered while shaking. You prayed quietly when your chest tightened. When your hands trembled, when tears blurred your vision, you prayed, "Please help me," with a voice so soft even you could barely hear it. You prayed, "I can't do this alone." You prayed, "Give me strength." You prayed, "Don't let me fall apart." You prayed with a desperation no one saw. And every one of those prayers reached my heart like a cry from a child longing for comfort. I did not overlook them. I did not push them aside. I did not wait for a louder prayer or a stronger voice. Your trembling whisper was enough for heaven to move. I heard your shaking words more clearly than you ever imagined. I know the heaviness you carry every morning. The weight you feel the moment you open your eyes. The pressure that settles in your chest before you even take your first deep breath of the day. I know how waking up sometimes feels like stepping into a battlefield you never signed up for. I know how each morning brings back the responsibilities you don't feel ready for. The emotions you didn't finish processing. The questions that still have no answers. I know how often you try to collect yourself before even standing up from bed. I know how you push through with strength you don't feel. I know how each morning has held a quiet weight, sometimes a dread, sometimes a sadness, sometimes a numbness, because you didn't know if the day would be kind or if wearing a face that hides everything you fear others might not understand. The world would be heavy again. You thought no one saw you struggling to get through those mornings. You thought no one noticed the way you breathed in deeply, trying to steady yourself. You thought no one knew how much effort it took just to step into the day. But I did. I watched over you every morning. I stood beside you when you woke up feeling empty. I stood beside you when you felt the weight of yesterday still sitting on your heart. I stood beside you when you had to push yourself out of bed even though you wanted to curl deeper into the blankets and disappear from responsibility. I stood beside you, my hand resting gently over your spirit, giving you strength you didn't even realize was coming from me. You don't know how many days you survived because I was holding your heart together. You don't know how many times despair tried to swallow you but failed because my presence wrapped around you. You don't know how many times you thought you made it on your own. But the truth is I was carrying you. As you receive this truth, I want you to respond with a statement of faith. In the comments, write these words: "You are my strength and my song." Let this be your testimony that I am your sustainer. I have been watching over your heart each day and each night. I have been your strength when you had none left. I have been your peace when your thoughts grew too loud. I have been your comfort when loneliness echoed inside your chest. I have been guarding you when darkness tried to reach you. I have been supporting you when the world felt too heavy. But my child, I need you to understand something. Your pain never hardened me. It moved me. Your silent suffering didn't distance me. It drew me closer. Your fear didn't push me away. It stirred my compassion. Your numbness didn't offend me. It broke my heart for you. Your disappointments didn't frustrate me. They made me want to hold you even tighter. You have never been too much for me. Your emotions have never overwhelmed me. Your questions have never scared me. Your weakness has never repelled me. Your need has never burdened me. Everything you've carried, every ache, every fear, every tear pulled me closer, not further away. I saw when you cried softly into the darkness, hoping the silence would swallow your tears before anyone noticed. I saw when you hid in your room because you didn't want anyone to see how broken you felt. I saw when you wiped tears quickly so no one would ask questions. I saw when you cried quietly in the shower because it was the only place you felt safe enough to fall apart. I saw when you held your chest because the pain was too big for words. I saw when you whispered, "Does anyone even care?" I saw when you cried until your body trembled. I saw the pain you suffered in private, and every moment broke my heart for you. Not in anger, but in love, because I never wanted you to feel like you were carrying everything alone. And when the world did not hear you, I did. When people did not notice your breaking heart, I noticed. When no one understood your pain, I understood. When you felt invisible, I was watching you. When you felt insignificant, I was cherishing you. When you felt unwanted, I was holding you. When you felt forgotten, I whispered your name in heaven. When you felt hopeless, I surrounded your spirit with strength that kept you going. When you felt numb, I protected your heart from shattering. When you felt overwhelmed, I gave you quiet grace you didn't realize you were receiving. My child, let me speak to you now about something you have struggled with for so long. This feeling that your life has been delayed, stuck, slowed down, or blocked in ways you couldn't explain. You have looked at your life and wondered why things didn't happen for you the way they happened for others. You asked why doors that looked perfect suddenly closed. You asked why people you thought would stay suddenly left. You asked why opportunities slipped through your hands even when you prayed with everything inside you. You looked at the path ahead of you and felt like it was covered in fog, like you were walking through uncertainty, without direction, without clarity, without that. You asked why it seemed like every time you took a step forward, something pushed you back. Answers you begged me for. But I want to reveal the truth behind these delays, behind these endings, behind these pauses you hated so much because none of them were punishment. Every single one was protection. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our COF community, by doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. As now, I want you to take a moment and subscribe to this channel. Subscribing will activate God's prophetic promise and alignment in your life. It is a step of obedience that positions you under the flow of heaven's direction. Right. Thank you, God, for holding my hand if you felt His closeness. And share this video. And before you go, share this prophetic word one more time with your network. Sharing this message will activate the anointing and share that breakthrough with everyone connected to you. As you release it, heaven releases a greater measure of breakthrough into your own life. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit our community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment. A place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to this site right now, you are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass by you. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join our inner circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work and carry the light home, you can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.